Let's check it out.
Hi,
Hi, are you ready, boo?
I'm ready.
Is your name Shaw? Where are you calling me from?
San Antonio, Texas,
San Antonio, Texas. How old are you?
36.
36. What you do for a living?
I'm a consultant and I'm a student.
Consultant and a student. Do you have any kids?
I have four.
How old are your four? I would never think you would. I would have never thought you have four kids.
I do. My oldest son just graduated high school this week.
Okay.
So,
How old are your four kids?
my oldest is 18. And then I have a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, and 6 years old.
Are they all by the same man?
No, I was married twice. Three is from my first marriage, and my youngest is from my second marriage.
Okay. And when did you get divorced last?
2019.
Okay. And you're in San Antonio, Texas. What's your zodiac sign?
Gemini, May 26th.
Okay. So we got Shaw, San Antonio, Texas, 36 Gemini. She has mom of four kids by two men.
Wow. Um. Okay, 36, divorced twice. Um, because she's, I like to. You gotta point that out. With four kids, three by the first man, one by the next man. That's already a red flag. You gotta think. There's reasonings. I mean, she'll probably get to it on why she got divorced, but again, proof is in the pudding. You couldn't make two marriages work. I mean, you thought these men were good enough to marry, good enough to have kids with, yet couldn't be good enough to stand the test of time, right? So those are definitely red flags to be aware of. Um, and I like to say that I think that history, that past, will most likely show that she's possibly hard to be with and probably attracted or like terrible men, right? So,
Was married twice, so you were married both of your children's dads.
Yes.
Okay. And she's a consultant and a student?
Yes, I'm in graduate school right now.
Okay, you got beautiful skin. Let's get into this.
Thank
What
you.
kind of man you looking for, honey?
I'm looking for a man who's stable, who's happy, and who is ambitious.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Mm, if he has children and he's never married, the baby mom, that's a deal breaker for me. And if he can't afford to live the life that I can live.
If he can't afford, ooh. So what amount of money would it take to afford the life that you live?
He has to make at least 150K.
Okay.
what does that have to do with him? It's like if you can afford your life, that's good. All he needs to do is afford him. All he needs to do is be stable. Why would he need to afford your life? I mean, like you come with four kids. That's not his. There's literally you should be taking up all that 100% of that responsibility because it is yours. It is yours and the men that you chose to have kids with. Why would he need to afford the lifestyle you have? This is the insanity of it, right? She's going to graduate school. She's whatever. All these, she has. I think she, oh God, consultant. Okay, if you are affording your lifestyle, why does he need to afford your lifestyle when you're already doing it? Why? This is the insanity of women. They are so uh promoting of them working, right? Being boss bitches, okay? And yet, when they get a man or requirements for a man, he needs to take away her responsibilities. So she's not forced to take up the adult responsibilities of her own life. He needs to take up for it. He needs to make up for he needs to take away all her responsibilities. At least financial responsibilities. And that's the insanity of it. Here's a woman, right? Couldn't make 2 marriages work. Couldn't make the relationships with the men she chose to marry and give children with work. And now the next man has to be able to afford her and her kids from other men. He needs to take up the responsibility. Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
And that's the thing. You know what? For men, I've said this before. I honestly do not. Marriage is not a benefit for men. It is not. For me, I would say men to get married to give the security to the women that he wants to have children with. But if she didn't require marriage for him, that's her. That's on her. He doesn't need to marry. Now, for women, well, she should be requiring marriage for her to get that security, right? If he's requiring children from her, well, she should be demanding that security. It's not the same way both sides. So I don't think that him not being married is not that big of a deal, but
he has to make at least 150K. Okay. Ooh.
and make 150K, right? Again, rare men, top level men, financially at least, right? We're not even getting to all the other standards these women have. They're constantly asking for top level men. 150K. That's what? 5%, if that, of the population? 10%? You're asking for a small, select group of men. And yet you're a baby mama of 4. 2 failed marriages. 36. These women are average at best, with being how old she is, 2 failed marriages, 4 kids. I'm being very lenient. This one is most likely, she's cute, she's okay, right? Not terrible looking. But this is the thing, right? Where this is the problem where men are the prize. Because these women, what do they have to offer? She has to offer used, right? A history of being what would I say? A used product? Not top tier. She's not in her prime. So really, here's a man she's asking for it is top level man, yet he's really not getting top level woman. Top level in the dating market, who cares what money she makes, because that doesn't make her more attractive. So
Shaw, that's big money, Shaw.
Not necessarily.
Woo! Let it be.
How's that necessarily? When only about I'm highballing it too. When only about 10% of the population makes that amount, because I think 30% of the population, men and women, make 100K. I think about only just men, maybe 10%, if that, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less. So how is that not rare? How is that not special? It is beyond me.
No. Okay. So you got to make at least 150K. So just for clarification, if you made $80,000, don't DM you.
No.
The ladies tonight ain't biting their tongue. They being direct. I don't know. Is this something in the water, Chuck?
And let's say this, because these women always say that, okay, their exes made that amount of money, but still, it ended in divorce. It ended. These men, because she probably maybe go over it. Even these men made that much, possibly, and yet it still ended. So really, what's the point? Because it doesn't produce a successful relationship. Obviously, she's the example of it.
Because the women coming on my show, clear, ain't stuttering.
And they're delusional. The women coming on her show are delusional. These are women that are past their prime, used up, not worth a damn. Asking for rare, top-level men and think that they qualify for it.
We have woken up. So I think it's important. I think for a long time, women have just accepted what they felt like they could get. And many of them could have gotten more had they actually been, it's like, back in the day when they said,
yeah, women could get more when they have more to offer. Here's a 36-year-old woman, two-time divorcee. She's like a champion or some shit, right? Two-time divorcee, right? 4 kids. Asking for more? This is the thing. Am I saying that there are no delusional men out there that would accept this, who makes maybe 100K? Possibly. But I think that's sad. I think that's sad when men, okay, reach a point where they are rare. A man that makes 150K, he is rare. For him to lower his standards or practically have no standards at all, I think that's sad. I think that's very sad. I mean, this is one of the things why I hope I can create this channel, right? Is to promote men that make 50K, right? Are not terrible men. Okay, they're good men. Average men are good men. That doesn't making how much you make does not make you a terrible man. Okay, men that make 100K or more, you are rare. So I do not discourage you guys from having high standards. You should, because at the end of the day, you are a rare man. Women like this who think she qualified for you and have very little to offer besides a whole lot of baggage is insane.
If people knew that they were slaves, a lot more of them could have been freed. Black women have woken up at this point. We know that we can do better than what we've done in our past. And so that's what we're going for.
So I'm assuming both of your ex-husbands made 150K or more.
No, neither of them did. I married young.
Okay. I mean, this proves what I said before. She couldn't attract a man that made 100K or 150K. She married those 2 men, gave those 2 men kids. Now, after she is a whole lot less valuable on dating market perspective, she's requiring a better man. She's requiring a rarer man. This is the delusion that I talk about. This ain't hate. This ain't a hate, okay? This is calling the delusion, the hypocrisy, the insanity of a lot of women. Where this is the point. You offer so little to men, besides maybe a box, and you're asking for top level men or rare men. Is insane to me.
So I married at 19 or 20. And we met in college, and neither of us at the time had money. We were young. I had 3 kids. Well, I became a mom to 3 kids in 1 year. My oldest son, I adopted him. And then I gave birth to my 2 biological kids next in line. And so, no, he didn't have a lot.
Like I said, this is the entitlement of her, right? She's asking for a rare man, just financially. We're not even hearing like, oh, if she wants a 6-foot man, she wants a good-looking black man, all these other requirements. Just finances alone, she's asking for a rare man. So that's the thing, where these women like this, they have, at the stage of life, they have very little offer. And they didn't require that before. She said that, okay, that women are now think that they can get more or they deserve more. But really, do you? You know, your dating history, your dating life will show you what you qualify for. Plain and simple.
Money at the time. Now he does very well for himself. He's older, and I'm not looking to date someone who's in their young 20s. So I would expect that any man who reaches out to me, he has also done well for himself at this age.
Okay, Shaw, this is gonna be said, so I'm gonna let you respond to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're gonna say, you were married to 2 men, had children by 2 men who didn't make 150K, and now you're a mom of 4. Granted, they're not that young. Your kids are 18, 14, 13, and 6. Now you're a mom of 4, and you want the next man to, I guess, in so many ways, make more income than the men you were married to and had children by. So what's your response to that?
Well, it would be foolish for anyone to have the same standard they had at 18 years old when they're 36. I don't know. That's kind of a nonsensical question for the people who would ask that.
Oh, they're gonna say it. Absolutely, this is gonna be said. This is why I wanted you to respond to it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would I go for this? Why would I have the same standards when I'm 18 as I would have when I'm 36?
Let me speak from, I guess, that mindset. And that mindset, when I read the comments, and I've been doing the show for 4 years, basically a man that makes 150K, do you want to get married again?
I would like to.
Okay, so it will be a man that will have to accept you and your 4 children, essentially.
Yeah.
So the mindset is, why would a man who makes 150K, potentially marry a woman that has 4 kids, and her baby daddies or her ex-husband, because you were actually married, they didn't even make that requirement. So why, as a man that I have it, should I align myself with that? That's what I see in the comment section.
I understand two things. One, why would the man compare himself to someone that I chose when I was very young?
Because you gave him everything. You gave these men everything. Your body, your youth, your womb. You gave these men everything. This is the problem with a lot of women. How they believe that their past does not matter. It does. It does. Because a lot of men want a man's future, a man's prosperity, a man's accomplishments to matter. Well, women's past matters because it shows you the type of character you are. This is the thing. Women, she said very young, but it's like, have you learned anything? Really, a lot of women don't. They don't really get wiser with age. Plain and simple. It's just the mistakes you've shown. It matters. It counts. It affects things. So
that doesn't make sense because they're not his competition, and
he's not worried about competition. He's worried about what. Here's the thing. You've married, gave kids to men that aren't on his level. This is the thing what women can't understand. The most precious thing you can give a man is your body and children. That is the best thing you can give a man, really. And she's giving it to lesser men, comparative to the type of man she wants now, lesser men. So the product that she gave to these lesser men, now she's going to give it to a higher level man. Men like that will see that I deserve better, because in her mind, she deserves better. She says she deserves better, right? Why doesn't he think that? Why wouldn't he think that when he's top level man, right? Plain and simple.
Two, why wouldn't that man want me? Why wouldn't he want me? Look, let me speed this up. This is
let me do the Kendra Cam now. Wait, move back a little bit. So
her body. Why wouldn't he want her? Her body, her looks. This is a thing where women think that they're so special. Men find most women attractive. Men find most women attractive. Like, think about that. Men will find most women attractive. So even if she's attractive, well, it's nothing. She's not winning a Nobel Prize for that. She's not a supermodel. She's not, on the cover of magazines, on commercials, or whatever, celebrated for her beauty. So really, she may be good looking in some men's eyes, but again, men find most women attractive. It's women who find most men unattractive. So really, great if you look good, if you have a nice body. But what does that mean? That doesn't equate to rarity, right? Rarity, because women are so disconnected. Again, most men don't make even 100K. Most men don't even make 100K. So to make 150K, and to be honest, 4 kids, him, if he has kids himself, he's gonna have to make maybe close to 2K or better. So, but regardless, to make 150K, that's even more of a rare man. A rare man, women with decent, okay looks, but that isn't rare. Again, men find most women attractive.
Charlotte, she said, why wouldn't a man want? Ooh,
I'm
okay.
fit, I'm gorgeous, I'm intelligent. I attend Harvard University. I'm very successful in my own.
Gorgeous? Not really. She's okay looking, but again, she's nothing special. Maybe at best, looks wise, a 6, right? And there's plenty of women at her level or better, okay? Especially for these rare men. Attending college, intelligent, great. I mean, I wouldn't say most women are stupid, okay? And your level of education doesn't mean a whole lot. I've said this before. Women's education, accomplishments, career, job means nothing. Or it doesn't make them more attractive. Now, again, it can be a good conversation, but it doesn't make them more attractive.
Right, especially because I have 4 children. And I'm also not looking for a man who doesn't have children. I would prefer that the man has already been married at least once. It would be great if he has a small child, because my youngest daughter is 6 and she's kind of like, even though she's not a single child, my oldest son goes off to Howard.
I mean, that might make it easier, right? There's plenty of divorced men. Or, well, she just wants to divorce men, it seems, but. So, that makes the pool a little bit bigger.
In the fall, my youngest son is at one of the top junior college preparatory boarding schools in America. So he doesn't live with me. My other daughter, she's going to be headed off soon. So it's really just my baby girl who's with me. I would love if I could meet a man who also has a small child that I can be a mother to as well.
I was going to ask that question. So there's not an expectation that this man has to financially provide for your children?
I provide for my children.
But I guess what I'm saying is, if you got married, is there expectation for him to financially provide for your children in any way?
There would be an expectation for him to provide for the household, as I also provide for my household.
Okay. You got some paid questions, girl. You know you got some paid questions, girl.
Let's get it going.
Now, for just move a little bit. You're so close to the middle. Go. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Get It Done said, Kendra, ask her what her requirements would have been hadn't she married twice with 4 kids.
I would have looked for a man who didn't have children, and probably who had not married yet. I think for me, this is just my opinion, I believe that people who don't have children already and people who have never been married, they should mate together. So that you can have a lot of those first experiences with someone else who's also going, having those first experiences. But I've had that. I've been there, done that. I've been married twice. I have my children. I don't want any more biological children. So I prefer a man who's looking for a ready-made family. I would like for him to already have a family so that we can come together and, make shit shake.
Woo, make shit shake. All right. Ma said, I'm sure as a consultant, she makes around 150K. So if that's what she's asking for, I ain't mad at it. So she's on your side. And then Lord of Leon said,
how's that? I mean, there's no guarantee that she's making that much.
With that in mind, fellas, never settle. These women raise their standards, raise yours. And settling for us looks different for women. Shout out to Kendra, you look amazing. Thank you, Lord of Leon. Okay.
I mean, when first of all, that doesn't make sense. Men have never settled.
Why do you say that?
Men, they don't settle. They go for, and this is the problem, because there could be a man who didn't deserve an awesome woman. But that awesome woman gives him a chance. And now
men are basically settling. Women choose who they want to be with. Men accept men will choose who accepts them. It's like basically men settle. Men are how men go about dating, they settle. They settle for whoever accepts them. Women choose who they want to be with. Sometimes they choose poorly. Well, most times women choose poorly. But again, men truly settle. Plain and simple. Men will go for most men, average men, majority of men will go for whoever they ask that says yes.
He feels like, oh, well, these are the type of women that I can get because I've gotten one of these. And they just shoot higher and higher and higher. Men, especially Black men, they're born with audacity. And so I'm not really sure where this whole narrative comes from that men have been settling in the past and now they need to raise their standards. Your standards have already been higher than what you've even, deserved all this time. So humble yourself.
The audacity, deserve. Here's the thing where women can't understand. That's the audacity. The audacity. She's asking financially, he's already a rare man. So really, what? It's like really these men should have high standards. Most men do not have high standards. Why? You gotta think. One of the prime method that men go about dating is just gunshot, right? What is it? Like a gunshot kind of thing, where they just shoot. They just ask a whole bunch of women. Yes, men would love the supermodels, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, whatever, but it don't mean that they will get them. Okay? It's not a sure thing. Men trying to hit on multiple women, that's not a sure thing. So men predominantly settle for whoever says yes. Women are the ones who choose, right? They choose. They're the choosers.
King.
Humble yourself, king. Esther said, hi, Kendra. I watch your show all the time. Love it. I wonder, do these women know the type of job or the amount of person has to make per hour in order to make 100K? So I hear this a lot. They want to know. I mean, you said you went to Harvard, or you going to Harvard?
I'm a Harvard graduate student right now.
Okay, you're a Harvard graduate student. So I'm assuming you know of men in these salary ranges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the question is, and this is a question a lot, they want to know, do women think of men who actually, or do they even know the professions of men that make 100K or more? But if you went to Harvard, my assumption is you know plenty.
Most people date within their social circle. So if you have to really try to find, if it's really difficult for you to find a man who makes over 6 figures, change your circle. Same thing for me. Like, I don't have a lot of men that I'm around right now who are just, 7-figure, or 8-figure men. I want to elevate my circle. So as far as 150K is really low for the men that I'm around. And so, yeah, it's not difficult to find those.
If you're around the men, go for it. Well, it's like women, if these men aren't in abundance, that's the insanity of it. These men aren't in abundance. Plain and simple. Ridiculous.
Man for me.
So, okay, so the men that you're around, you don't want to date any of them?
Oh, no, I'm open to it. I just, my last relationship was in December. Okay. And so I'm in therapy. I'm still in therapy, and I'm probably going to be in therapy for the next 5 years. It's really good, to just be able to talk things out and not give so much, not put so much of your baggage on your friends and your families. And so now I said, during the summertime, I'm going to get back out there and I'm going to start dating again. So this is what I'm doing.
Okay, and I'm listening intently. So although you're around the 6-figure man, you said that you want to elevate. So you really want a man in the 7, 8-figure range.
Yes, because I'm going to be there.
Ooh, don't play with Shaw, honey. Child, I don't even know these questions. We done got a tangent. Y'all tonight, I'm confusing my own damn way. Oh, there's someone wants me to say this. Thomas B said, Trust me, the slaves knew that they were enslaved. For you to repeat that nonsense near Juneteenth is ignorant. So I guess the analogy you made about black women not realizing that they were enslaved because of the men they were choosing, I think it's response to that statement.
Well, I think that that person, Thomas B, doesn't understand history, and that's okay. Not everyone likes to read, so I'll stop there.
So, in your mind, history that women didn't think that they were enslaved. Okay.
All right, what was my last question? Did I ask your deal breakers? I don't think we got to the
Yes, because I said my deal breaker would be a man who can't afford to live the lifestyle.
Okay, so we're still kind of early. Should the guy look a certain way?
I would like for him to be, 5'9". I have dated mostly black men in my past. I'm open to any race. That's pretty, and he has to just be attractive. And you know, if you're an attractive person, if you go out and you get looks all the time, you're an attractive person. That's what I'm looking for.
So top tier attractive. Go out and get looks. I've said this before. I just said it. Women find most men unattractive. So she's trying to find. She wants top level attraction. Top level attraction. Men that makes over 6 figures. I mean, she just said she wants a man that makes 7 or 8 figures. So this is insanity. The app. This is what I'm saying. This is not hate. This is calling out the entitlement, the audacity, the delusion, the insanity. Oh God, she's amazing. She's absolutely. I'm sorry. I would love to see an update on this woman because I cannot imagine any man that will go for this. Maybe he's, I don't know, 50, 60. I mean, depends on, her age bracket too. If she wants a man that's much older, she probably could get that. But it's like, well, even a man that's much older, even men that looks good to most women and makes a lot of money, that is rare man. And if you want him monogamous, you're insane.
I don't have certain features or anything like that.
Okay. Now, should he make a certain amount of money? We already got there. We already did that. And shit, we did the Kendra cam too. You want to do it again?
Yes.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
December of last year.
Okay. Are you waiting for a relationship?
That's the goal.
Okay.
Yes.
3 flaws you have to work on.
I work too much, and what I've learned now is that the more money people make, the less they actually work. And so I'm trying to get to that point so that I don't have to work so much, because it can take away from, especially building a new relationship and nurturing a new relationship. I don't have a lot of time for it right now. So I'm trying to, I've made some space in my life where I can not work as much. I also, go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead.
And I also, I don't shy away from confrontation. So I would need a man who doesn't buckle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
What I hear is that she's difficult. Doesn't shy from confrontation. Most likely she has a mouth on her, right? Most likely she's argumentative. She's probably aggressive. Like, I don't know. I mean, she sounds like the boss bee, right? A modern day, strong, independent woman. Okay.
I think that's it.
All right. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Well, I'll say this. No matter how any of my relationships, no matter how much or how bad any of my relationships have ended, whether it is like a good term or a bad term, they have always walked away better people. Their finances have increased significantly. They have become more educated. Their lives look incredibly better than it did before I entered their lives. That's what I have to offer a man.
Shaw, we got some more questions. You ready for them?
Let's get it.
Okay, let's get it. This man spent $20. Let me just go to
Ooh.
him because he spent $20. Aggie Foot Fan 87 said a single man who makes 150K is a 0.8% to 1.9% man. A man like that has better options than a 35 plus 4 times single man. You are still single. No, why are you still single?
Again, I just left a relationship in December, and the only people who start
Technically, all she's showing is that she has a string of failed relationships. That's it. Great. I mean, it kind of proves his point. Why are you still single? You can't make a relationship work. You couldn't make 2 marriages work. You just said that you just left a relationship, so you couldn't make that one work. I mean, that has to show something.
know statistics are people who don't actually make that amount of money. So I don't really need anyone who has to count their pennies in their bank account to try to tell me what a man who makes over 150K a year desires, because I don't have a problem getting the type of men that I'm interested in dating or mating with or marrying. So
If you don't have a problem, this is kind of insanity, right? You don't have the problem. This is women can't understand. You actually shown that you do have a problem because not a single man lasted through the test of time. You don't have a problem with having sex with a man. Cool. But again, you have a problem with making it last.
If y'all ain't learned tonight, y'all keep typing and paying for questions if you want to. But if y'all ain't know tonight, every cousin that came on this show tonight, they ready to read you down to the ground. So just know, you can say what you want, but
they can say what they want, but it doesn't matter.
She already said that she's not backing down. Okay, Miss Blessed Tish said the economy back then was not like it is now, so your standards are on point. Don't
What? How's that good? No.
settle. She's saying don't settle. Okay. Um, as a woman in the 250,000 range, I understand. Okay. Okay. Jasmine said, this is a man, said, Kendra, ask her, does she understand the sacrifices a man has to make to get to 150K to 200K range?
Let me say something really quickly. So, like I said earlier, my youngest son will be attending a college preparatory boarding school in the fall. And going through that process has really taught me a lot about life. The path that we believe it takes to get to 150K or 200K is not necessarily the path that most of the people who ends up in that price range, like for their annual income, they don't take that same path. It's like you don't know what you know until you know it. And so a lot of these people have not struggled and, had to, labor laboriously and do all of these things to get, to their price range. They took a certain path that unfortunately many Black people are not privy to. But when you become privy to that path, you realize that it's not as difficult as you may assume that it is. And so when men get that amount of money and they're around women like me, they're not saying, oh my gosh, you have 4 kids. I'd sacrifice all of this. And now I don't want to, marry a woman like you with all these kids. They're like, how the fuck did you make this much money and do it with 4 kids? Because there's no way I could have done it. And they literally see me as a prize and they see me as an anomaly because I actually went down the path that most of the people on this show probably thinks that it takes to get there. So I understand the question, but that's just not the case for a lot of the people in America who are in the 150 to 200K range and above, especially when they're not Black. And I'm not just, I'm open to dating non-Black men as well.
Okay, so all races or just non-Black men and maybe one race?
All races.
All races. So I will say this to that because it seems like you have the circle, and I said this before. Granted, you are in the world of the men that you're describing, according to what you're telling me. But I always tell women, if they are in those worlds, you should be considering those men are options, because you have the first, like, that is your first pool. So I think I asked this earlier, but it seems like you're surrounded by all these great men. So then one will say, why call me?
My ex-partner is also in my same social circle.
Okay.
And so yeah, I've just been taking my time. Again, I'm newly single, so it's not like I've been around these men for 3, 4, 5 years and no one wanted me, or that I didn't want them either. It's that I'm newly single. My ex-partner is in my same social circle, and so I'm just casting my net a little bit wider.
Okay. Ty Shine says she's very beautiful, gorgeous skin. I can definitely see her attracting that man.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is where I want to talk about, right? Again, attracting that man is different than keeping that man. That's the thing. Men will say what, like she said, oh, you're so amazing, you're so rare, all this stuff. Men will say anything to get into your pants. Anything. Men will say anything to get into your pants. I don't mean those same type of men will be faithful to you long term. This is the thing where it is now common sense. Men that will have sex with you and men that will commit to you long term are two different things. Women put it at the same thing. Like, all these men say that I'm amazing, that they would have sex with me. Okay, great. That don't mean that these men will be with you for the rest of your life or be committed to just you.
Nene once said 4, 5, 10 kids. She looks good, intelligent, successful. She has my vote.
That's funny.
um, I was gonna have. I think I read them all. Oh, Thomas B said this is the bitter, combative, and sassy episode.
Well, learn your place.
All right, I think after this one, I'm gonna stop. Demetrius James said, "This woman is attractive physically, but extremely immature mentally. Men settle, especially in Western marriages. Always have, always will."
Well, if men settle and you're a man, then continue settling if that's your perspective. I can't change that, and I'm not here to change it. I'm here looking for looking for a man who understands my perspective, who agrees with my perspective. So the things that we're discussing on this show is not going to be a matter of contention or a point of contention in my relationship. They already understand in the same way that I already understand. The bonus is if they have a child who's around the same age as my youngest child, that would be great.
Okay. All right. So listen, you held it down. All the women.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, it's weird that she said that her ex runs in the same circle. It's like, this is the thing with a lot of women. I think they women are top level manipulators and liars. I think women can lie and manipulate 100 times better than men can. 100 times better. So really, I I I don't know if she's all that truthful with everything she said, but so because sometimes you can catch them in a weird lie or a weird sentence. Um, yeah, I just these are women that will stay single, right? They're just difficult, high standards, low value. I just can't see any reasoning why she would, you know, be that she's worth it for a man to deal with. I don't. I don't know. What do you guys think?